Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Today we are starting with the new session about broadband and regulatory issues. Mr. Vidotos Redzevikius, representative of Communications Regulatory Authority of the Republic of Lithuania, will present us the broadband survey results in Lithuania.
Hello, I'm happy to lead off the second day of this conference. Thank you, first of all, for Macedonia for inviting us, for warm hospitality, and the opportunity to present what broadband we have in our country. So I'm going to talk about the broadband survey we conducted last year about the broadband networks we have in our country and what level of service they provide. We investigated fixed and mobile networks, and the end result you see on a slide is an interactive application, map application in the link below. Later you can browse it yourself. In overview, there are multiple levels how we detailed the broadband capabilities of all operators. It's an aggregated map among all operators, fixed and mobile, and we interpreted the data according to territory or households. So why, first of all, we started to do this? Why did we engage in this project? Well, European Electronic Communication Codes stated that all member states should perform a geographical survey. What kind of situation in each country is about in a broadband network. So it should be done in all Europe, and yeah, we did it also, and you can see Lithuania on a map in the northern Balkan region, or sorry. So what was the goal of this survey? It was to determine the coverage of the existing electronic communication networks capable of providing broadband services, including very high capacity networks. So we started in May 2003. We had 5 main steps of this project. So first of all, we determined the methodology, what kind of data we will use, how we're going to interpret it, what are the key aspects we're going to use. Then the data collection from the operators and our own databases and data verification. We collected a lot of data from all operators. Third step was, probably the main one, was evaluation of mobile network coverage, because most of the coverage is provided by mobile networks. Later we consulted the stakeholders in a public consultation about the results, and after that we published the finished survey and a report on January 18th this year. So I'll start shortly. The main points of the methodology. So the data collection was intended to gather data about current situation and the forecast. Well, forecast data is tricky to collect because all operators plan where we're gonna invest into network, but their plans are mostly confidential, or they are not sure if they will realize the plans. We collected data for mobile networks and calculated in 60 by 60 meter grid, so all territory of Lithuania. And for fixed network, it was fixed location, just a point on a map with address that is connected to the internet. From mobile side, the cells load of a mobile network was required from all operators, and we have 3 operators in mobile operators in our country, so we aggregated the data to have overview of general capability of broadband mobile network. And also in the methodology we stated all the parameters we are going to use to calculate the results. Data collection and coverage evaluation, as I said, from 3 mobile operators and 65 fixed networks operators. It was assessed by asking operators to provide data in a Excel file, just all the addresses they have connected to their network, and what kind of speed is available and on that address. And the result looks like this. It's just an example, just a couple of snapshots what can be seen on the app. So you can get an overview of calculated for a whole country. The level of territory is covered, for example, in 100 megabit per second speed, and what percentage of area is covered by this speed, or what percentage of households can access this speed. And we had several layers of speeds from 2 megabits to 10, 30, 100, 300 and 1000 and over, just to have an overview what kind of speeds are available in particular geographic locations. And in the middle of the map shows points of all fixed addresses that have been also color coded with corresponding speeds. And on the right side we see the map of mobile coverage. The redder the color, the better the speed. And of course you can zoom in and use filters and calculate the values for each territory. For example, administrative territory, be it municipality, council, and so on, even up to, up to 1 kilometer grid. On the left we see our municipalities evaluated what percentage of households in these municipalities have access to 100 megabit per second speed. On the right, when you zoom in, you can analyze by kilometer hexagon. So some areas you can see don't have hexagons. That's because in this particular case it's a forest and there are no households there. So no households and no evaluation of speed for household available. But you can see it territorially also. About the key takeaways from these results. On a national level, overall coverage is very good, but with increased speed, the network availability also decreases. Yeah, on a county level, the lower speeds up to 30 megabits still remains very high. 9 of 10 households in each county have access to such speeds. And networks providing at least 100 megabits per second are available for 2/3 of the households in each counties. With much higher speeds, over 1 gigabit, it varies more, so from 10% to 50%. Of course, in bigger cities, the percentages are higher for higher speeds, because mainly the investment, I think, as in all countries, are in higher speeds are in the main cities where most of the end users are located. On the municipality level, it still holds that 9 out of 10 households have speeds up to 10 megabits. 3/4 up to 30 megabits, and only half of municipalities have 100 megabits or over. This is because the smaller the area of analyzed area gets, you have outliers, because there are rural areas that don't get much fiber access, fixed network access, and the mobile network also does not cover that intensely as in the cities. So as you can see, in some municipalities only 4% of households have access to 1 gigabit per second speed, while in others 96%. It would be, capital city or some smaller cities that have very good network coverage. So thank you for your attention. And if there are any questions, because there are a lot of details how we did it, I didn't want to go in very particularities, but if you want to perform such survey in your country, maybe I can give you some tips of how we did it, what approach we have taken. And so thank you.
Next presenters are from Macedonian operator Makedonsky Telecom. Mr. Goran Jordanovsky and Mr. Dejan Debevsky will introduce us in their story about 3G retirement success story.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Goran Jordanovsky, and I'm responsible for radio access networks in Makedonsky Telecom. And this presentation is about sharing our experience about retirement of the old 3G technology in our network. As you all know, it's a trend in the industry that many operators around the world are switching off their old legacy networks like 2G and 3G. Most of the operators have started with 3G switch off because of the high number of machine-to-machine terminals which rely still on the 2G GPRS Edge network. Our motivation, driver, and goal to start with this project was, for one, to free the spectrum that is used for the old technologies and use it for the most efficient technologies like 4G and 5G. Currently we're using 900 megahertz band for 2G and 3G, and with this 3G retirement we are freeing up 5 megahertz of that spectrum that will be used later on for 4G and 5G. Also, with these four technologies, 2G, 3G, 4G, now with 5G, it's very complex to maintain, to operate four technologies. So switching off the old legacy will definitely help in managing already complex mobile networks with fewer radio access technologies. 2G and 3G networks are non-IP technologies and they do not fit in our long-term target network architecture, which is fully IP-based. So the faster we switch off these technologies, more close we come to our target network architecture. We have started with 3G, but that doesn't mean we will stop. We will continue with 2G. Its 2G switch off will be even more complex, more time demanding. But anyway, this is our final target, to switch off 3G, but also 2G in some mid-term. We are one of the first, among the first operators in this region, in the Balkan regions, that have switched off 3G. I believe the first operator that switched off 3G was Cosmote in Greece in 2021, and also Crnogorski Telecom. I believe they switched it off recently, and we are following, and we are one of the first in the Balkan regions. So, then.
Okay, I'm Dejan Davevski, working on planning and transformation, and I was project manager for 3G retirement. So those were the drivers and the goals that we want to achieve. And then we decided to start a project, which is a time-demanding project. You can see from this time plan, because a lot of services and products has been affected, and also a lot of customers. We start, mostly the first year was for assessment of the situation, to see which are those services that are affected, what customers are affected, are there special cases that we have to treat with some special focus. And then after this period of assessment, we start with activities. Also, of course, one of the things in that time is alignment with our partners on the wholesale MV and also with regulator. And we start with the implementation. One part was technical part, where we worked on capacity increasement of the technologies that will remain, mostly on 4G and 5G and 2G. 5G comes later during the project implementation. And the other things was from the product point of view and customer point of view, where we were focused on migration of the customers on the remaining technologies. One of the things which is very, very important is information to the customer, communication to the customer, and proper information to the customers about what they have to do in order to not be affected from 3G retirement. And as a last point of this action, project actually, from the beginning of 2024, actually this year, we started with gradually decreasement of 3G data and voice traffic, and in the mid of April, we switched off 3G in the whole region. Later on, I will tell you more, and Goran will explain at the end. So I mentioned there is a lot of activities that we have to perform. It was really demanding, that we really want to make it smooth without impact on our customer, which at the end we succeeded. One of the things that we are working in this period is capacity analysis, monitoring on the 2G technology, in order to support the customer which will be not able to work on 4G and 5G because of different reasons, devices in the most of the cases. And therefore we were focused on that part for proper dimensioning of the capacity. Also, we, to prevent this and to minimize the impact with 3G retirement, we stopped selling of 3G devices, capable phones in our portfolio and focus on 4G, and later on 4G supporting VoLTE, and later on 5G capable devices. Migration of the traffic is one of the things that we really work hard for voice, but also for data. We have a lot of campaigns, notification, communication towards our customers, actually impacted customers. And regarding the data, we identify all customers with 4G and 5G capable phones which are still using 3G, communication to them and information how to set up their devices in order to start using 4G network, and of course in cases where they have proper devices, also the 5G. One of the things was B2B customers with machine-to-machine devices. All those, most of them works on 3G, and we work on identification of all those devices, and we have separate communication with those customers to inform about this project, to inform about what will happen with the 3G retirement, and in aligned with them what they have to do on their side to support devices to be migrated towards the 4G or 2G where it is not possible. We have in the network customers with the old SIM cards that were limited to 3G. It was demanding, really, because we have to contact all of them, to motivate them to come and to replace their SIM cards. It was a lot of communication, a lot of things to do with this, even offering some benefits to them in order to come and replace their SIM cards. One of the things for the voice part is provisioning of VoLTE. Later on I will tell you more about this, but we do a lot of provisioning of all customers that are capable for usage of VoLTE, which have their VoLTE devices. We have identified them in the network and provisioned on the VoLTE, and also educated them with communication, what are the benefits of VoLTE, because we face that some of the customers, even they are provisioned, they don't registering their devices. It was really huge communication and information to the customers. And from the data perspective, we worked a lot to migrate the customers from 3G and to 4G and 2G. At the end, there were customers that cannot work on 4G. We have also prepared our network to accept all those customers with devices which are not supporting 4G with the proper data, let's say, and voice on the 2G. And during this period, we have all the time alignment with the partners, especially with the MVNO. During the project, in order to see, to monitor our progress, we specified the KPIs that we have monitored very close, and where we can see where we are and what we have to do in order to improve steps towards the 3G retirement. One of the things is monitoring of the type of devices in the network by technology, of course focusing on increasing the 4G and 5G, decreasing the 3G. Data traffic share was very important for data, but also for the voice. For data, I mentioned we have a lot of activities for migration, and also for the VoLTE traffic share, we have very good progress, because we start at the beginning of the project. We have only 3% VoLTE penetration in our traffic share. At the end, when we switched off 3G, we have on 60% of VoLTE penetration into the traffic share, which is for us really satisfying and good result, even far from our initial target that we have achieved, that we have set up for us. Regarding the old SIM cards, I mentioned a lot of activities, and at the end we succeed that almost all SIM cards of the customers that are using that were using data was replaced. Only few of them remains, but it was a very good result from this perspective. And the one other thing which was important for our visitors, as we have here, a lot of in our country, so working on roaming part, LTE and VoLTE roaming from technical point of view, but also from, let's say, contracting point of view, which were led by our colleagues from international part. That was the most important activities and most important KPIs that were monitored and give us hint that we can do it. And how we can do it, Goran will tell you more.
Okay, before we actually started with the 3G switched off, we decided to make a pilot switch off in one of our municipalities. It was municipality of Strumica on the south east part of the country. We switched it off there last year for a period of 3 weeks, I think, about 3 weeks. And we learned a lot from this pilot. The lessons learned from this pilot switched off were later on used in order to make smooth traffic migration from 3G to 2G and to the other technologies, to 4G and 5G, and also to minimize customer impact and network performance. The final switch off was done in the period of end of March and first half of April. But before that switch off happened, we did a lot of activities starting from January and February and March in order to prepare for the actual switch off. This was a set of engineering measures done in the network with the goal to migrate as much as possible 3G traffic, 3G voice traffic to 2G, and also 3G data traffic to 4G and 5G. So once we did this engineering measures in the network, the actual switch off was just a formality, because a very small percentage of traffic remained on 3G before the actual switch off happened. After the switch off, and even before the switch off, we tried to anticipate as much as possible and based also on the learnings from the pilot, what would be the possible customer complaints. And we prepared very detailed instructions for our frontline customer service department, so that they can be able to solve these customer complaints on the first level. As a result of all of these preparations, after the switch off, the network performance was practically the same. No degradations on the network performance, both on 2G but also on 4G. There were some very low number of there was a very low number of customer complaints after the switch off. They were mainly related to the device setup and to the provisioning of 4G and VoLTE services. And most of these complaints were solved on the first line, so very few came on the second line to our technical department. So practically the whole process of switching off 3G went very, very smoothly, and we're quite happy how it was done. And now, since 15th of April, we don't have 3G in our network anymore. So that was it. If you have any questions, we will be happy to answer.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, we have a presentation from the Macedonian operator A1. Vladimir Ristevski will take you through the presentation titled Optification.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank you, AEC, for organizing this event and giving us opportunity to be present here today. It is quite successful conference. I like to be here. I like to be always here, actually, but this year is very special. We had good presentation, and we had good time last night. I think, at least I think that's. Second of all, I would like to congratulate our main competitor on this market for a very successful project. 3G Sunset is not easy project to be done from any company, and in Macedonia, if you're doing that, it's even more difficult. But I must congratulate you again, and also I must recognize your heavy investments in this field, and this is nice to see from the competitor. Also, A1 is investing in Macedonia. We are recognizing the importance of investments. We are fully aware that the investments in telecom sector are crucial for our operation. It's our future as a companies, but also telecommunication investments in the country are making the difference. At least we like to think that, and most studies are showing that. For example, one question, according to ITU, if you increase 10% penetration in the country, what do you think that the percentage of the GDP increase will be? What is your opinion about that? It is on this slide. ITU says that if you increase the broadband penetration in the country for 10%, then up to 1.5% you will get increase in GDP. It's a study, of course. It's make a difference in the different countries, but we like to think that this is achievable for Macedonia, and that's why we are investing. Not just GDP, but also productivity, competitiveness are also dependent from heavy investment in the country. What do you think that 10% increase in penetration does to productivity of the employees? Not just in telecom industry, in all industries. According to OECD, it is again up to 1.5% increase in productivity. It means more competitive environment, more competitive industry in the country. So it's a good thing to make some investment in the country. Furthermore, European Investment Bank, according to their studies, is thinking that if you double the speeds of the network, broadband network, then you can get a result of 0.3 GDP growth in the country. So not just investment in penetration, but also quality of the service must be increased. That means more investment in money. Yesterday, Jaroslav from ITU said that let's take care of our environment. So again, investment in this industry are very important also for the environment. According to several studies, and general opinion is that investment in fiber, laying out the fiber network throughout the country for fixed penetration, for fixed broadband access, but also connecting our base stations for mobile communication with the fiber are the most climate-friendly technology in the country. And we also are recognizing, and I think that at least A1 Macedonia, I'm sure that also Makedonski Telecom are fully aware of this, and they have some project or program for green energy, green technology, etc. I must say that, and that's why I mentioned also our competitors in the country. All companies dealing in telecom business are fully aware that investments are very crucial. Innovation is very crucial. Regarding the investments, all at least nationwide and all regional even fixed operators are investing in fiber and laying out fiber cables throughout the country and connecting households. According to at least publicly known figures, 20 to 30,000 households are connected by at least biggest operators, Makedonski Telecom and A1 Macedonia, but also there are a lot of other households connected throughout regional or other national telecom operators. And it's giving results. If you see the charts published from Agency for Electronic Communication, you can see that the penetration of fiber to the home is constantly increasing in the country, and we are proud of it. At least we as a company are proud of it. Despite connection of homes, we are heavily investing in connection of our base stations with fiber. It's more competitive, of course, it's eco-friendly, we saw, and as a quality of service, we are aware that it's best choice, at least with today technologies present in the world. And again, we are investing in the technology, but also investing in the customers, and we are fully aware of that. Customers must accept the technology. That's why we are strongly focusing with our PR, with our marketing activities towards the customers to explain to them what they can get from these investments and what can they have as a benefit from connecting to the best available network according to technology. I'm not speaking A1 best, I'm speaking fiber as a best technology. And we are doing a lot of things regarding marketing. We are trying to explain to the customers, and we are trying to show where they can be connected. So we have some tool to find the way how they can get the fiber technology, at least from us. I believe that all other companies are doing the same. Not just operators, I strongly believe that also government, all governments in the region are recognizing the investment in technology, that it's very crucial. And they are all, as we saw yesterday with the example of cybersecurity, they are all doing steps forward regarding the regulation. Still, however, we are facing some difficulties, and they are not benign difficulties, they are strong difficulties. For example, we have still, at least in Macedonia, I believe all West Balkan countries are dealing the same. We have complicated permit documentation. It is quite complicated. I always say when I meet somebody from the government dealing with the electronic communication law or dealing with building law or whatever it is called, that it's similar documentation if you are building a high tower, bridge, or base station in the country, which is complicated. We have procedures that are quite slow. If you are building fiber somewhere or building base station, it can take several months, even in some cases several years, to get permit for building the network. Administration sometimes knows to be non-responsive, but you can push something. Small cell regulation from Europe is not still implemented, so we are seeing the examples of 26 gigahertz used in some countries throughout Europe. Still in Macedonia, it will be quite difficult because small cells are still out of regulation in Macedonia, and it can take quite painful coverage in the country if you want to use fully 5G, or 5G on 26 gigahertz is almost impossible right now. All governments from my entering into this business are dealing with digitalization in the country, and we saw for 20-something years every government is saying we are focusing on digitalization in the country, And still we are seeing that it's in nursery, so it's a very heavy child, I suppose, but yes, we can do at least something about this. Digitalization is crucial. It's not only that the supply should be provided by the operators or other telecom companies, demand should be coming from somewhere, and if you want to change the demand of the country, you have to digitalize something. A lot of procedures, a lot of government services can be digitalized, but still we are struggling. Digital security, we talked yesterday a lot, I will not mention again. It is crucial, and we are focusing as operators. Government is focusing heavily. Implementation is still lagging, so we are hoping that we will achieve something during next years. Joint investments as focus from European Commission is still almost non-existent at least in Macedonia. I'm not quite sure about other West Balkan countries, but in Macedonia it's incident rather than rule. On the last meeting with the government representatives, we said, yes, but are you fully aware that all investment in telecom sector is coming from private entities? Usually private entities are investing in fiber, even in roaming, even in mobile networks. We bought 5G licenses, we build up the 5G networks, etc. But still, it's only from private companies. Investment in telecom sector, at least in Macedonia, is mainly or only from private entities. We are not seeing municipalities investing in telecom infrastructure or something like that, or government is promising investment, but still we don't see that kind of investment in our country. Is there a way? Yes, there is. Some other countries are doing something. Yes, they are doing. Some of them successfully, more or less. European Union recognized the investment, importance of investment in the Europe as a continent, and especially in European Union. And they did several changes in the regulation. The latest is Gigabit Infrastructure Act. Recently, 8th of May, was published on official journal of European Union. And there are quite changes in favor of investment, at least we think so. Implementation will follow, so we are seeing promise that something will be changed. I will not speak a lot of about this Gigabit Infrastructure Act. It's several hundred pages, but what is crucial that electronic communication operators can access civil engineering infrastructure in the country for the purpose of telecom industry or telecom services. Licensing should be simplified and more efficient in order to boost the investment in very high capacity networks and investment in telecom sector. Regarding the transparency, we already had the obligation to publish our networks. Civil network, public bodies and civil infrastructure operators should do as well. And what is already a possibility in Macedonian law, now it's in Gigabit Infrastructure Act, all civil engineering entities in the country funded publicly, fully or partly, cannot deny access to their network for telecom purposes. So let's see how the implementation will go, but this is promising. And we also have a lot of problems with in-house installation. At least according to this act, all operators could access physical infrastructure regardless whether this is telecom or other infrastructure to provide services to their customers. If there is no possibility for duplication, at least on efficient way. In the same period, little bit before this was published, European Commission also published a recommendation for regulators how to deal with this market. I think that the last two markets remain to be regulated. How to deal. What is a little bit different is that the NRAs or regulators now can have a little bit freedom to choose whether they can impose price regulation or something else. And it is, according to this recommendation, that the NRAs will not impose price regulation on the wholesale level if efficient economical applicability test is present in the country, which is case in Macedonia. As a present, whether it is efficient or not, it's a different discussion. And regulators would have freedom, let's say, to choose whether they can deal with civil engineer infrastructure and impose some obligation to them as well to provide access to telecom operators. There are a lot of other recommendations, but the main recommendation is about how economic replicability tests should be done in the country to be more efficient, to be more productive, and to allow more competitors to enter to the market. And if you don't have it, and or this is not efficient, you have possibility for price regulation on wholesale level with ERLIC plus methodology, also with risk premium, but only for future built very high capacity networks. These are some solutions. Maybe they are not the best solution in the world, but still these are some solutions which can be used throughout the West Balkans. If they are implemented, I know that West Balkan is implementing European Communication Code more or less. Macedonia is lagging a little bit, but I hope in near future we will have fully new law on electronic communication in line with AEC. And also, we will do something about the Gigabit Infrastructure Act. It is regulation. I just have to remind you, it is regulation in European Union, so it is implemented on all countries members of European Union. But since we are in West Balkan, we are not members, we have to do something about implementation made throughout our governments and parliaments. This is my presentation. If you have some questions, I'm available now or later during the coffee break. And the last, I have to, it is the last. We are talking very high capacity networks in these presentations previously now, and it's becoming the buzzword, and I'm fully afraid of the buzzwords, like buzzwords of the digitalization. Let's see what the definition is. Yeah, we are all confused about that. I hope that soon we will have a clear definition, and I will urge even European Commission to make some more understandable definition of very high capacity network. Otherwise, it will become a buzzword and nobody will know what that means. Thank you.
Please enjoy a brief coffee break now. We will reconvene in 15 minutes to continue our discussions. Thank you.
look at yourself in the mirror sometimes and say, look, what am I doing? Why am I this way? You know, you need a kick in the ass once in a while. And lately, you really needed it. And I worry. I need it. I worry about you. Maybe it's all a goof, and you're just goofing when you're acting this way.
First presenter in the last session of the conference is Mr. Zoran Dervishov from GDI. He will present us system of support and implementation of NOBP.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. It is my great pleasure to be in front of you today and to be given the opportunity to present the NOBP, standing for National Operational Broadband Plan Implementation Support System. I would like to thank you, AEC, for invitation to be part of this event, and at the same time to congratulate AEC for the really great organization of this International Regulatory Conference, OHRID 2024. This is the agenda for today's presentation. In the first part, I would briefly say a few words about GDI, the company I came from, and in the second part, a little bit more, I would talk about NOBP implementation support system, a legal basis for its existence, the main functionalities of the solution, and what are the benefits of its use, both for the operators of electronic communication networks, as well as for AEC and the wider community. Let me introduce shortly myself and my company. My name is Zoran Dervishov. I have more than 30 years work experience related with telecom industry. About 15 years I worked in various positions in Macedonian Telecom, and the rest of my career I spent in GDI in the position of CTO, developing GIS-based software solutions and providing services for various industry verticals, including solutions for regulatory agencies and for the telecom operators in the country. I am also a member of the National Broadband Competence Office, and I was actively involved in the development of the National Operational Broadband Plan. Who is GDI? GDI is an international group of companies, more than 35 years present on the IT market in Central and Southeastern Europe. Innovative provider of applied technology solutions with more than 250 plus employees, more than 1,200 satisfied customers, with 18 offices in 14 different countries. The map shows the countries in which GDI is present with its own offices and permanent employees. GDI solutions are developed and deployed on the world's leading IT platforms, which makes them robust, reliable, always having optimum performance, able to be integrated with the existing client systems. What gives GDI a comparative advantage over other IT companies is, of course, our partnership with ESRI, leading global company specialized in geoinformation systems with more than 40% share in the world market of GIS software. GDI develops software solutions for various industry verticals, but for the purposes of this conference, we will only mention solutions implemented in regulatory agencies in the region. Without intention to go into too many details, I would only mention that GDI has implemented its solution in the following regulatory agencies and similar institutions in the region. At first, here it is AEC Macedonia, HACOM Croatia, RATEL Serbia, Ministry of Trade, Tourism and Telecommunications Serbia, Ministry of Economic Development Kosovo, now Ministry of Economy Kosovo, AKEP Albania, EKIP Montenegro, etc. GDI Skopje is a frequent guest at the International Regulatory Conferences organized by AEC. Several times GDI presented its solution at these conferences, from which I would point out the following. Our first presentation was in 2016, where we presented a solution for single information point. 2 years later, we presented a WebGIS collector solution for electronic submission of data for newly built networks, electronic communication networks and associated assets. Next year, we presented a package of tools for efficient regulation. And now, 2024, we are presenting NOBP implementation support system, which is our latest and so far greatest solution related to this issue. What is NOBP and which is the legal base for its existence? National Operational Broadband Plan represent a midterm strategy for the development of broadband services in Macedonia, which establishes national targets that are to be achieved by the end of the planning period, by the end of 2029, as well as measures and activities that should be implemented by representatives of state authorities and bodies, regulatory bodies, and other institutions. The need for the implementation of the solution originates from the NOBP, more precisely from the measures that NOBP establishes for the fulfillment of the national broadband targets, which refer to the Agency of Electronic Communications. According to NOBP, Agency for Electronic Communication should continuously, during the implementation of the strategy, provide up-to-date data of the areas with existing and planned coverage by fast and ultra-fast broadband networks, with data for mapping the use of the internet access services by settlement, as well as up-to-date data on the spatial distribution of white, gray, and black zones on the territory of the whole country. What are the main functionalities of the NOBP implementation support system? This white shows the home screen of the application. On the left side, it is the main menu from which the user can reach the desired option in only a few clicks, while most of the screen, the biggest part of the screen on the right side, is reserved for displaying an interactive broadband map. The map contains plenty of data layers of interest for broadband coverage, including but not limited to the overall broadband infrastructure from single information point, areas of existing and planned fixed and mobile broadband coverage, white, gray, and black zone for different speeds, for fast, ultra-fast, and networks with very high capacity. Also demographic data from last 2 censuses of population, households, and apartments. Probably the most important data set is demographic data about population and households by census circle, as this level provides a uniform distribution of household density, which is further used in the generation of white, gray, and black zones, as well as other coverage zones. The map also provides a number of different tools characteristic for GIS application. We will not spend the time to explain what is inside this package of tools. During the development of the application solution, the main intention was to maximally simplify the process of data collection by the operators while providing valuable information from which the user can get a practically instant insight into the state of broadband coverage in the country. There are 2 ways how the operators can provide coverage data. First one is by directly drawing polygon on a map shown in this slide and selecting technology and speed provided by that selected technology. And the second one is by importing pre-prepared shape files exported from operators' existing GIS systems, if any. This is what the data import screen looks like for existing endpoint coverage for fixed and mobile network. Based on the data entered by the operators, further by using geoprocessing models, the system enables automatic generation of different coverage zones with broadband networks. This slide shows areas with polygons in green color and without polygons in red color, fast broadband coverage. This is another example of a map showing black, gray, and white zones for very high capacity networks. The system allows the automatic generation of, at this moment, 70 different models of broadband coverage. Although the whole operation may seem simple, complex geoprocessing operations are performed in the background, which can last from a few minutes for simpler operation to half an hour and even more for more complex analysis. The image above shows the model for automatically generating black, gray, and white zones. In addition, system provides an environment for entering data for broadband usage by settlements, where the small operators can use forms for manual data entry, settlement by settlement, while for the larger operators, there are forms for mass data import, data which could be downloaded from existing CRM or billing system in the possession of the operator. A completely new data collection model has also been developed on the basis of which quarterly and annually market analysis report can be generated. This model allows new reports to be added dynamically as needed without programming and completely independent on the solution provider. This is an example of form for submitting the number of trunk lines by access network and technology. I would also mention the model for circular sending of email messages to operators, through which it will be possible to automatically send reminders for the submission of data with pre-prepared templates, as well reminders for those operators who will not submit the required data within the stipulated period. The system includes a number of predefined reports, as well as a runtime report designer, which allows users to create new reports by themselves and save them to be able to refer to them as needed in the future. Similar situation is also with dashboards. There are a number of predefined dashboards and also a runtime dashboard designer to create new dashboard as the need arises. The system also provides tools for data comparison. Example of comparison is, let's say, if you want to compare the number of fixed lines for two different operators, or to compare the total number of leased lines for two different reporting periods. Finally, a question arises whether this system is just another obligation for operators who already have many obligations to submit data at the request of the regulatory agency, or operators can find their own interest in using this system. According to me, the answer is, without doubt, from using this system, both the operators and the regulatory agency can have great benefits. What are the benefits for operators? There are more, but in the interest of time, I will mention only three that are the most important. This system represents perfect and maybe the most important free of charge tool for inventory of network infrastructure, especially interesting for smaller operators. The system provides access to official demographic data from the latest census 2021, but also from the previous census 2002. So you can make a comparison of this data and to make some conclusions about trends of increasing the number of population in some settlement or decreasing. And last benefit, insight into white, gray, and black zones combined with plenty of analytical tools that provide this system makes this system excellent tool for planning the development of broadband networks. On the other hand, benefits to the regulatory agency and the wider community are as follows. At first, continuous provision of data on existing and planned coverage with NGA, Next Generation Access Networks or broadband networks, mapping of take-up of broadband services by settlements, continuous provision of up-to-date data on white, gray, and black zones with micro-location and exact borders with exact number of households living in this white, gray, and black zones. And perhaps the most important benefit, this system allowed automatic calculation of these indicators for the connectivity dimension, sub-dimensions, fixed broadband take-up, fixed broadband coverage, and mobile broadband. With everything previously stated, NOVP implementation support system is an indispensable tool for monitoring the implementation of national operating broadband plan, monitoring the fulfillment of the set national broadband targets, and providing valuable data for policymakers in electronic communications to make decisions and measures to achieve the set national broadband targets. Thank you. I saw my colleague from Lithuania had the similar presentation that confirmed the actuality of this broadband mapping, so I would be happy to share experiences during the break. If you have any question, yeah. Please.
Congratulations for developing such an in-house solution first. To those who asked. Could you tell us more about the data collection method? For example, you're relying on mostly simulation data, crowdsourcing, or drive tests?
How we provide the data for the system? We provide the data from the operator. I mentioned that the system contains interactive broadband map. The map has plenty of tools, and inside this package of tools there is an editor widget which allows the operators to draw the polygons and to attribute appropriately technology with which this polygon is covered and the maximum speed that is provided through this technology. In the behind, we are using the official statistical data from census 2021, data about number of households and population per census circle. It is a very small area, and distribution is, how to say, distribution is relatively uniform. So if you intersect with some coverage area part of the census circle, you can make calculation how many households are covered and how many are not covered with some service and technology.
So is it basically relying on simulations and calculations and predictions?
The data are the data collected by operators. So if the operator provides real data, it is not simulation, but real data. Thank you.
The last presenter, but not the least, is Mr. Alexander Ilosky, who will be supported from Mr. Andrei Kostaj. Their presentation is about Quality Management System TL9000 in telecommunication. Mr. Andrei Kostaj will be included online.
dear organizers, dear guests. First, I have to excuse my colleague, Mr. Andrej Cestar. He was supposed to be online with us today, but given the situation that he is away from abroad, from his original country, he is not able to connect. I will firstly express my gratitude, say thank you to the organizers, to all of you, for giving me the time and the privilege to be part of this conference. This is my first conference with AEC, hopefully not the last. I'm aware of the time, and being the last presenter, I thank you for your patience and endurance during these 2 days. And I will try to be as effective as I can introducing a management system in telecommunications industry. I want to congratulate to all contributors to these 2 days, talking on topic with the conference, with the forward-thinking mindset, talking about the focus of technology, the trends, and giving us examples to establish the benchmark of what we have and what we should expect in the future. So talking about benchmarking, today I want to discuss about a standard that has this unique feature of benchmarking. It's called TL9000, and it's done by Quest Forum. I will talk a little bit more later on. But let's start with a fact. The fact is that the total cost of poor quality in the ICT industry is estimated to be between 10 and 15 billion US dollars. Now, what Quest Forum is trying to achieve is to address this issue by setting up a common ICT quality standard, quality management standard that will drive continual improvement in the industry quality, but also customer satisfaction. Again, having in mind the cost reduction and introduce the system of third-party audits. Now, a little bit about Quest Forum. Quest Forum is founded in California, established, I think, 1998, as a non-profit organization. It is a unique community of different ICT service providers, suppliers, affiliates of their suppliers, liaison members, and also CBs, certification bodies, as other training providers. And it has a strong strategic relationship with ISO committee, TIA, and other organizations. Just as a note that now, today, Quest Forum is part of the TIA as a BCP organization of the Telecom Industry Association. Now, TL9000, the standard, is a two-part management system that has one part is management requirements and other part is measurement requirements. So these TL certified organizations, they have to comply with the ISO 9001. I suppose you all know about the ISO 9001 standard. And they have to comply with some common telecommunication industry requirements. Then, at the higher level, they have to comply with their specific either hardware, software, or service telecom specific requirements. And at the end, there is a measurement benchmark within, I know the presentation says around 100 defined products. It's this product category table, it's evolving, it's continually increasing. It's around 160 products now, product categories. And within these product categories, there is a benchmark, a service, a feature that can give you a stand of your performance to have a comparison between the best, the worst, and the industry average for that requirement. We have seen these kind of standards in other industries, like aerospace, automotive, railway industry, and these standards are usually foundation or framework to establish the supply chain. Now, TL 9000 has this kind of unique extension to the 9000 ISO 9000 standard that includes these supplemental requirements in the following areas. So the first one is the performance measurements based on the product reliability. Then the software development, the lifecycle management, requirements for specialized service functions, such as installation or engineering, requirements to address communication between telecom network operators and suppliers, and what we discussed, what our focus is today is the benchmarking, so reporting on the quality measurement data to a central repository that gives us this kind of benchmarking of industry performance, and this is worldwide unique feature. Here you can see an example of one of the common measurements within the standard, and you can see the graphical representation of one's performance against the best, the worst, and the industry average. On the next slide, you can see specific to a product category. These kind of indicators are well established in TL 9000 standard. Now, what is the benefit from this standard? All standards have this kind of white paper of benefits. But when we talk about TL 9000, we segregate by buyers, by all interested parties. So the buyers should benefit from the consistent quality across all products and services by using the TL certified suppliers. Also, significant cost savings can happen by reducing the on-site inspections from the vendors, from the customers. An industry benchmark and objective product and supplier evaluation provided by the registration management system, the RMS, regular performance data. So the buyers can benefit from having a systematic information about establishing or evaluating their suppliers. Now the suppliers should profit from validating their product, services, or customer care they provide. They should have the focus on cost reduction by utilizing the quality audits, and also create a customized performance reports for existing or some potential customers. Both service providers and suppliers should gain cost efficiencies and improve supplier relationship across the supply chain. The TL 9000 certification guarantees that the suppliers that have quality management system should be systematically audited as by an independent TL certification body. This is the third-party audit framework. Now, let's take a look at the structure of the TL 9000 standard. This is pretty much a multi-level standard. Now we start with the foundation, which is common measurements. So what kind of performance we should monitor, evaluate, and report. And on top of this, specifically for hardware, software, and service measurements. This is how the standard looks like. So it's a two-part standard, as I mentioned before. And all information regarding the standard, all updates, all alerts about the specific product categories or measurements can be found on their homepage. Now, let's talk about the product categories and performance data reports. So the TL 9000 Quality Management System Measurement Handbook requires that all TL certified organizations should compare their performance against worldwide available industry data. The TIA-BCP calculates the average performance of all TL 9000 certificate organizations in the appropriate product categories and makes the benchmark data available free of charge. So TL performance data reports are calculated monthly and annually. This means that all registrants, all certified organizations are obliged to report monthly on their performance. So the TIA-BCP administrator is based in the University of Texas at Dallas. It manages the database, it's a repository, oversees all the operations, and produces these PDRs. Now, the TL 9000 administrator also guarantees complete security and anonymous contribution. Additionally, they are certified against 27,000 series standards for IT security. Now let's talk about my organization. Quality Austria is the certification body that was the first certification body accredited by Austrian accreditation, which was the second accreditation given by Quest Forum for this standard. Again, this standard is coming from the US, and the first accreditation was given to the US accreditation, ANAP, and this for the European continent, Austrian accreditation was the first accreditation for this standard. Quality Austria is also the first certification body that was given this kind of accreditation for TL 9000 by this accreditation Austria. And this was in 2001 with the first client in China. Now today, Quality Austria serves its clients, the TL 9000 clients, mostly in the US, or America region, EMEA, and Asia. Of persons based on many other standards, and this is just a word cloud that you can see. It's only a snapshot of all the products that we offer to our customers. We have more than 30 partner organizations or office representatives worldwide, and this number is changing. And one of these representatives is the Macedonian office. It's called MQS, also founded in 2001. We consider ourselves as a first certification body in Macedonia, and this was acknowledged by the Accreditation Institute of Macedonia by giving us the recognition of this, and we are exclusive license partner of Quality Austria, meaning that we offer all Quality Austria services to our territory in the Balkan area. But it's not only the Balkan. MQS has the office also in Bulgaria, and if you observe the black dots, there is a third black dot, and this is something that is upcoming. It's our intention of opening the office in East Africa. Our auditors also continuously serve clients not only in this region, but also in more than 15 other countries worldwide, meaning that we are part of this kind of network that is, okay, it's ever-changing, but it's more than 1,000 lead auditors on Quality Austria levels. And as I mentioned, Quality Austria has its own partnership and strategic partnerships with other institutions, with other services that support Quality Austria in giving their service based on the management system certification, validation, assessment, and training of persons. I want to thank you very much. If you have any questions, hopefully we will have the time after this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you all for your interest and participation on the International Regulatory Conference 2024. We hope that you feel more experienced and motivated after all these presentations, and you are wealthier with the colleagues and friends who share the same interest. We hope that you will be our guests on the next International Regulatory Conference 2025, regarding the fact that it will be a Jubilee Conference for the Agency for Electronic Communications. Take this as the invitation for next year. We wish you all the best. The boat will wait you in front of the hotel marina for organized lunch in Sveti Nam. Thank you.
I'm just not the right kind of girl for you, 'cause I got a rule. I hold on to my